Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. So, you think you know Arjen Lucassen, huh? Towering Dutch prog rock polymath, the man behind the super successful prog rock conceptualist Ayreon. Not to mention his prog metal offshoots, Star One and Guilt Machine, enormous overarching concept albums about space and time, packed to the hilt with special guests that read like a who's who of modern day progressive rock. Records that take as long to conceive as they do to record. That Arjen Lucassen, well, think again. Golden Age of Music, the latest album to feature Lucassen's not inconsiderable talents, may also feature stellar musicianship and killer tunes, but there is no storyline that takes place far enough into the future, into the far-flung depths of space, nor do the album's 11 tracks come courtesy of an unending list of guest artists. The result is 11 tracks of high-energy, progressively inclined heavy rock. Golden Age of Music will be officially released on May 19th on CD and vinyl, and it'll be available at Supersonic Revolution. It's actually www.link.to Supersonic Revolution or Amazon.com. Please welcome Dutch singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, musician, and record producer, best known for his long-running progressive metal rock opera project, Arjen Lucassen, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, Arjen.
Hi, man.
How you doing, man?
Well, since I'm a legend, I'm doing fine. Yes.
A legend in your own time.
Yeah, in my own. I didn't even have to die, man.
I'm telling you, that's the best way. Where are you today? Are you in like Amsterdam or something like that?
No, I'm near the sea, somewhere in the south of Holland. So it's in Brabant. It's a tiny little village.
Right.
I think 200 people live here. And it's in the middle of nowhere.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And I live here in an old 100-year-old school that's been rebuilt.
Oh, wow. Beautiful
house. So it's in the middle of nowhere.
Very cool.
The way I like it.
I've had Barry Hay on the show.
Cool.
His secret place is Curacao. Okay, let's get right to the album. Okay, it's a great album, by the way. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, man.
It's a lot different. You know, it's just a hard rocking album that you came up with, and I think you got the idea from a German music magazine, correct?
True. Yes. Yeah, they asked me that they're doing these rock albums, and they always have like a Coverman CD.
Right.
And the first two rock albums, they asked me for a cover. Do you have a Pink Floyd cover? Yeah, I had it. Did they have a Deep Purple? I did. But this time I didn't have it, and they gave me a list, and I was like, sorry, guys. I said, but, I like you guys. I'll record one for you. So they gave me the list, and I was like, okay, ZZ Top, I like this track. Maybe I can do that. And they said, well, it has to be ready within a week. And I was like, okay. So I kid you not, within 10 minutes, I had 5 people together on WhatsApp. I just contacted my favorite Dutch artists, musicians, and I asked them, do you want to record this cover with me? It has to be ready in a week. Sure, no problem. And I sent them my demo. They sent me back their parts, all within days, and it was all brilliant. And we had this WhatsApp group, and we had so much fun. And it's like weird Dutch humor where you're like insulting each other, and we had so much fun, and the result was so great that we thought like, hey, guys, why not do a whole album like this?
Now, why was it a request by a German magazine? I mean, what did they get out of it?
They add this CD. It's like a CD, and everyone who buys this rock book,
I got you.
Gets or not everyone. I think the first 1,000 people who buy the rock book, they get a free CD, and the CD contains covers of the bands that they talk about in the book. So
wow, very cool.
Yeah.
The Glam Attack, that was the first single, I guess, from from the
Right.
video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. I'm going to just talk about a couple of the tracks on there.
Sure.
It
Sure.
opens up a prelude, which is an orchestration. Of course, you got Glam Attack, a lot of guitar shredding going on there.
Oh yes, it's crazy. When I heard this guy play, I was like, I'm not gonna play guitar on this album. I'm not gonna play guitar, period.
Yeah, he does stand out, doesn't he?
He does. It's scary. It's scary how good this guy is, and this is a great way to show the world what he can do, because he had a free hand. It was like, hey man, you're the best guitar player I know. Go for it, Don't limit yourself. Just go for it.
Well,
And
this
he
was
did.
the kind of album that he could really
True.
shine too. Yeah.
True, because it's not full, It's you have Hammond,
Yep.
stereo Hammond, and you have one guitar in the middle, and that's it. And so yeah, it's a bit like Van Halen in the 70s, You just had that one guitar in the corner. You could
Exactly.
hear exactly everything he was doing, and
Yeah.
I wanted to capture that feel.
Some of the tracks actually remind me of the 80s and like Dio. I heard some
Uh,
Dio in there and
oh yes, I guess more 70s Dio. I'm more a fan of the Dio
the early Dio's sound. Yeah,
In
exactly.
Ringo, and yeah, Black Sabbath too, of course. But
Right.
so yeah, I mean JC, he's the biggest Dio fan in the world, yeah, and you can hear it.
You can hear it. You can
We're
definitely
not
hear
hiding it. We're not hiding it.
it. Talk about the track "Golden Age of Music." Now, did you write all the music, all the music for this?
Basically, yes.
Hmm.
Only the prelude you were talking about was written by the keyboard player,
Okay,
and also the middle part of Glam Attack, which is like really complicated Dream Theater kind of stuff. I can't do that, I'm I'm technically inept. So he wrote that middle part, but apart from that, I wrote all the stuff. Yeah.
very cool. And of course, there's a track called "Burn It Down," which Deep Purple, you know.
Yes.
But
Well,
go ahead.
the thing is, I was in the evening, after I always watch a movie,
Hmm.
preferably sci-fi, and then
Right.
after that, I just lie on the couch and I fall asleep to in YouTube,
Yeah.
And this time I did again, and I woke up to Smoke on the Water, and I was like, what makes this song so good,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we're all sick and tired of it. We heard it so often, and it's like, okay. But I was like, shit, I want to do something like that. So I grabbed my
Sure.
guitar and I came up with an idea that was so much like Smoke on the Water that I was like, no, I can't do this. And then I thought, what if I do it? I just do it, but then I I make the comparison, the
Hmm.
reference like abundantly clear,
Yep.
abundantly clear that I stole this song. So then I thought about the story of Smoke on the Water. Some weirdo with a flare gun.
Hmm.
They shot the place where the casino where Frank Zappa was playing.
Yeah.
He burned it down, and no one knows who did it. No one knows why. And I
Hmm.
thought, why in my song, why shouldn't I explain like who did it and why
Yeah.
he did it and what happened to him later? And so yeah, it's my view on the story. Of course, it's totally bullshit, but
But what's cool is you put your own take to some classic music and you're influenced by a lot of different things
oh yeah,
that you create, and especially on Star One, because a lot of those tracks on Star One, you're inspired by movies and TV shows and things like that, which
right.
is very cool.
Oh, sorry, was there a question in there?
No, there wasn't a question. I
Okay.
just. But yeah, so I like how you did burn it down. It's very cool. It was to me, it was like
Thank you.
a deep purple, but maybe with David Coverdale singing.
Oh, right, yeah, yeah, could be, yeah. I
Yeah,
actually approached Ian Gillan. I wanted
you
him
did.
to do a little narration at the beginning, like he was talking in my answer phone. Hey, hey, dude, I heard you ripped off Smoke on the Water. You know, you'll be hearing from our lawyers. And I thought it was hilarious, but
He wouldn't do it.
he didn't.
Oh
No,
man,
maybe he didn't get the fun. I don't know. He
no,
didn't get.
no.
I don't know. He was like, no, no, not at this present time. But who knows? You know, maybe he had another reason. I don't know.
I don't
But it
know.
would
I interviewed Ian. Then I asked permission for that interview to be in my book, and I never got permission for that either. So
Okay, okay, yeah, maybe,
it's
yeah.
just
It
him.
felt it felt like there was something going on because I talked to his manager, or was it his sister? I don't know. She's a really sweet lady, and
Yeah,
but yeah, unfortunately,
it happens. Odyssey. You know, the word around for progressive rock nowadays is progressive metal. You know, that's the popular
yeah.
thing now, progressive metal. You know, of course, there's always got to be a new genre they come out with.
Yeah.
And you hear that in Odyssey, and Odyssey also reminded me a little bit of the Final Countdown, by Europe. I could hear
Okay.
that in there a little bit.
Well, I know the keyboard player,
Oh, do
Joost, is
you?
a huge fan of Europe, and he's always and he's teasing me because I'm not a big fan of the 80s and stuff,
Right.
I once tried to play the Final Countdown on his keyboard, and I
Uh,
totally fucked it up. And he's been teasing me with that forever, you know. So every time I get into the rehearse room, you know, already when I'm going up the stairs with my guitars, I hear
yeah.
in the distance, I hear. But that must be Joost's influence, yeah.
Me and you are about the same age. I was born in 59, and you were what, 60? 1960?
Whoa, really? Really? You're
Yeah.
older than me?
Yeah.
God damn, man,
You look
you're
younger
pretty
than
good.
me. You do
You
look
look,
younger than me.
I am 1 year younger than.
Yeah, it sucks though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To say we're children of the 60s, but that was a
I,
good
I
era. That was a good era.
I loved the 60s.
Me too.
Really. It's I loved it, yeah. I was too young to enjoy music back then. You know, it started when
Mhm.
I was 10, you know,
Right.
like Glam Attack with Alice Cooper and David Bowie and the Suite and T-Rex and shit like that. But you know, I already listened to the Beatles in the
Oh yeah.
60s, and later, really later in the 70s, I started looking back at the 60s, and discovering how cool it was. So
Yeah, I was a top 40 DJ back in the late 70s and
okay, okay,
radio back in the 60s. There's nothing like it. I mean,
no, no,
you had everybody on top 40 radio, a little bit of
okay.
everybody,
Yeah, I know,
you know.
very cool.
Those are great days. They really were. Um, Another Deep Purple kind of opening was They Took Us by Storm. Kind of sounded like it
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
intro.
There's a little quote of Perfect Strangers in there.
Oh yeah, that's a good song too. I'm
Oh,
glad you picked that one. Yeah,
brilliant.
and then you had a kind of slower tracks, I guess. Golden Boy,
Hmm.
a little bit slower than Holy Holy Ground, which was kind of a slower bluesy ballad with some really guitar work on that one as well.
Oh, yes, yeah. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's. I always liked blues coupled with melody. You know, just
Yeah,
blues isn't enough for me. But um, so yeah, I suddenly came up with this little blues riff, and it was like, why not? You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a new genre, blues prog.
Blues prog, yeah, yeah. Well,
Hey,
actually, I did this song "The Day the World Breaks Down" of Ayreon, and we made a lyric video for it, and
uh-huh.
it's quite popular on YouTube. And I actually say exactly what you said there. We had a little blues part in
Hmm.
it, like ding, and it was like, hey, blues prog, you know, new thing.
Another thing. It's always happening, man.
Yep.
Then you had your covers on this. You had the ZZ Top cover. You had an Earth, Wind, and Fire cover. And you had Fantasy, which
You
is
must have
great.
played that when you were a DJ.
Oh yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire over and over again, man.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, and yeah, the album's great. I liked it a lot. It's so different from I'm a very prog guy, so of course I'd love Ayreon and all your works. And I'm a space guy
Cool,
like you. I grew
cool,
up on
cool,
Star
cool.
Trek, and
Okay, I
so
was watching. I just watched all three seasons of the Orville
oh, did
the
you?
last weeks. Did you see it?
I didn't see
It's
it. No.
oh really? They get the old Star Trek feel because the new Star Trek is not for me.
Right.
I don't get it. But they totally get the humor and the whole feel. You should check it out, man. It's brilliant.
Okay.
The
Gene
Orville.
Roddenberry he was a genius, man.
He was a total genius. Yeah,
You
love
know,
this stuff. Yeah.
all the things that came out of that show
Oh
that
yeah.
he invented. Wow.
Yep.
I want to mention the guys in your band. You
Sure.
get okay. There's JC, right?
On
Uh,
vocals. Yes.
Juice Van, then Brock. Is that how you say that? It's hard
Not
for us guys to pronounce.
even close.
How do you pronounce his name?
It's Joost.
Yost. Yeah, the J is
Joost.
always Yost, like
Yes.
a Y.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. And then the a double O is O.
Okay.
And Broek is
Brook.
yeah. Oh, the OE is Broek. Yeah. So it's Dutch. The Dutch are weird. Yeah.
And
It's a terrible language.
is it Timo Summers?
Yeah,
Timo
totally. Yeah,
Summers.
totally. Yeah.
And then on drums,
Try it.
Cohen Hest.
Oh,
Cohen
not
Hest?
bad, not bad.
No?
Again, it's the Broek thing, so it's Koen. So it's
Koen.
yeah,
Koen.
you would say
Okay.
Koon, Koen Herst. Yeah,
Yeah. It is a very different language, isn't it?
it's weird. I mean, my girlfriend is American, and she's been
Oh
living
my
with me for
goodness.
15 years,
Yeah.
but Dutch is still a mystery to her. So we're not even trying. No.
Norway's kind of tough too. I interview a lot of bands from Norway.
All right, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm interviewing I don't know, do you remember Corky Lang from Mountain, the drummer?
Yeah, of course,
I'm
yeah.
friends with Corky and his manager slash girlfriend, and she's from Norway.
Okay,
As a
cool.
matter of fact, we're going to do the interview tomorrow. But
Oh, great.
the same thing, there's a lot of the pronunciation you got to be.
Yeah.
And I being in radio and going to broadcasting school, the first thing you learn is to get everybody's names, pronounced right.
Yeah.
So, but you guys are tough.
I know. Yeah. But the Norway, they have all these weird circles on the letters too. Yeah?
That's right.
I have no idea how to
That's
pronounce
right.
that. I
Yeah.
just know Hoddebra. I just know that one. Like, yeah.
Star One Revel in Time. You released that in 2022 as well. That's another incredible album. My
Thank you, man.
favorite tune is it Prescient? Prescient?
Prescient.
Prescient.
Prescient. Yeah. Yeah. Prescient.
That they play that song a lot on like prog radio.
Oh, cool. I love that song so much. And I thought the people would totally get it, but somehow you release a song like Fate of Man, which is a double bass, tuk tak, Michael Romagobi of going for it, and people love it. But that song, maybe it's just too complicated.
I don't think
But
so. I
I
think
was so proud of that song.
it's a hit, in my opinion. I picked that as the
Okay.
hit on the album.
Whoa. That's quite a thing.
And
I
I
love
just
it.
had Ross Jennings on the show recently too. So
Oh, cool.
he's
Did
one
you
of my
talk
favorite guys
to
too.
him?
He's a good guy.
He's such a nice guy, man, and
Yeah.
he delivered, totally delivered, and yeah. Did you talk about President with?
I did not. We talked about everything
Oh, it's a
else
shame.
because he's got all
Okay,
kinds of stuff happening,
of
and
course he's doing so much. Yeah,
yeah, all you guys are doing so much.
yeah.
It's not like one band anymore. You guys got to belong to multiple bands.
I know. It's the new thing.
It makes life hard for me
Yeah. Sorry.
to do all the research.
Yep.
And plus, I can't just listen to one album and review it. I got to listen to everything.
Yeah. It's too much.
It's tough,
Too much.
but you got
Yeah.
to do what you got to do.
There you go.
Well, I mentioned all these tracks were inspired by things. Now, how do you get inspired by the Terminator and then write Fate of Man? How does that happen?
It doesn't really work like that, to be
No?
honest. No, I just write the songs.
Okay.
And it's the other way around. I finish the songs and then like, okay, which movie would fit to which song?
Right.
And like Fader Man, it's a really fast, aggressive song. Well, there you go, Terminator, all these
Hmm.
races and stuff like that. So no, it's the other way around. It's not like I've seen a movie and oh, I'm inspired now and I'm gonna write a song. No,
Right.
it's for me, it doesn't work that way.
And
It's
you got
always music first, lyrics later.
exactly. And you had Brittany Slays, right? Which
Oh, she's so good.
she's a Canadian heavy metal band, the Archers, right? She's from the
Yeah,
Archers.
Unleash
Yeah.
the Arches. Yeah,
Unleash the
she,
Archers. Yeah.
she's. I was on the couch falling asleep watching YouTube, and I saw like a clip where she was doing. It was a karaoke. Just someone in the audience filmed it and
Hmm.
karaoke, and suddenly everyone said, "You come on, you come on!" And so this little girl with glasses came on stage and she did Queen of the Reich, and it
Right.
was Queen of the Reich, and it's like. And then I found her name, and then I checked out her music, and I think she's one of the best in the world right now. It's amazing.
She was good. She's
And
really
she's
good.
gonna we're gonna do a couple of shows in September here in Holland, and
Oh,
she's
okay, good.
coming out, so I'm totally looking forward to that.
Yeah. So she'll be on the tour with you
Yeah,
on the
yeah, well,
dates.
we always do we rent one venue for a week and then we play like 5 shows.
Okay.
And she's coming over
That's
because
got to be that's got to be so expensive to do those shows, huh?
it is, but I got such loyal fans, and we sold 15,000 tickets in 5 minutes.
They're already sold out. I saw
So
that.
yeah, it was sold out immediately, and so we got a lot of money to invest too. And I'm like, I want to go all out. We're totally. Our motto now is, we quote Ingrid Malmsteen, "More is more," which is what more is more. And so we're going all out with lasers and explosions
Oh my
and
gosh.
LED screens and surround sound. And I mean, I want people, they come from 64 countries.
Yeah.
You can. This was this was the last show we did. I don't
Oh
know if you can
wow.
read it.
Wow. 12,000
Yeah,
visitors from
and it
64
was 12.
countries in one
Yeah,
weekend. Huh.
one weekend. So now we got even more people.
How do you
And
even
it's
put
it's
put a show like that together? I mean,
it takes 2 years to
okay.
arrange that, and I can't do it. I'm really bad at that. So Joost, again, the keyboard player,
Right.
he's the one who arranges everything, and we have a whole production team of like 4 or 5 people, and we have a meeting, a real meeting, not
Hmm.
a Zoom meeting, every month, and it takes. Well, it used to take 2 years. Now it takes one full year to
Right.
to arrange that. But it's a lot of work. But it's also, if you're with nice people, it's fun to work on it, and it's fun to think about all the stuff you can do. So
Oh, definitely. Those shows are in September, I think, right?
September, right? Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
you've got, gosh, they're all sold out. I'm looking at it right now through the 17th, I think. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, it was. We started with 3 shows. We were thinking like, with the whole Corona thing, and
Mhm.
people don't have money anymore. We hope we will sell 3 shows, and they were going like even before the sales started. There was 6,000 people waiting for each date.
Right.
So we were like, we have to add another one, and we add another one. It was gone 5 minutes later, and then later on we added a fifth one, which does mean that we have to play like Friday evening, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening,
Yeah.
which is it, and it's a long set. So
Mhm.
I feel sorry for like the drummer, who has
Mhm.
to play for 6 hours a day, but we'll see how it goes.
Do you only have one drummer or do you have multiple drummers?
We only have one drummer. He
Only one
would
drummer.
kill me if I would ask other drummers.
Do you think this production's ready for a stadium tour, or what do you think?
No, my touring days, I toured for 20 years in the past, and it
Yeah,
was just not my life.
yeah,
I mean, like I said, I'm a recluse here in my middle of nowhere, and I got my studio at home, and that's what I like, being creative in my studio. So basically, I started the Ayreon project to be able to stop touring. I just yeah, and it's I know it's quite egoistic. I'm now expecting people from all over the world to come to me, so it's totally egoistic, but. No, this is fine. This is what I like. It's a very loyal audience. The
right,
venue isn't too big, so it's not this not one venue for 15,000 people.
right.
That I would not like that. I want it to be personal and see the
Sure.
faces.
Oh, you sound like me. I used to cover all the shows around Tampa Bay, Orlando, and go to the shows,
Oh, whoa, whoa!
interview them after the show. I don't do that anymore. They come to me. They on Zoom.
There you go. There you go.
I don't leave my house,
Oh, a bunch of bastards. Yeah.
Maybe it's something to do with getting older too. I don't know.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I couldn't wait to tour, when I was 20
Yeah.
and 30 and but coming on 40, I was like,
I don't know how the
not
older
really my
guys do it.
thing.
I don't see how the older guys
No,
do it.
no,
Yeah.
how, but also why? Why the
Yeah.
hell, why?
Yeah.
But, I guess what else are they gonna do,
That's it. What are they gonna
That's
do? Play golf? I mean,
yeah. Well, Alice Cooper does, so.
yeah, that's true. And he still tours a lot.
And he's still, yeah, where does
Yeah.
he find time? Yeah.
Ian Anderson just put out another album and he's gonna tour again.
Yeah, 80, it's 79 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's getting up there.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And David Gilmour. David Gilmour looks like he's ready to call it quits.
Yeah.
If you see him at
Yeah.
home with his wife and the grandkids and everything,
Playing Christmas songs.
yeah, I think he's had
Uh,
it.
I don't think he really likes that kind of music anymore.
Yeah,
I interviewed David once
did you?
for a Dutch magazine
Oh wow.
in England, in
Hmm.
London, and of course, I took my chance and asked him to be on Arion, and you should have seen his face. I gave him the CD and he looked at it. Ah.
Oh no.
And I could see like, oh no, there's another of these crappy metal bands.
Yeah,
No, I don't think he really,
yeah,
enjoys the music anymore. I guess like me, going back to the 70s now.
yeah.
Of course, these guys are 20 years older than me, so they go back to the 50s, and we got nothing with the 50. We love the 60s, 70s, but
Exactly.
50s and 40s is just, yeah,
Yeah,
rock and roll, and
yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's it.
I like a lot of the new prog stuff though. You know,
Cool,
there's a
good.
lot of good prog bands out now.
Oh yes, oh yeah.
I like Ben Craven from Australia.
Oh, I don't know them.
I had Ben on recently. There's a band in Germany called RPWL that
Oh yeah, great. Yeah,
them. They sound like Pink Floyd.
yeah, they have a new album. I heard
Yeah.
the first song is like really really cool.
He sounds just Yogi sounds just like David Gilmour.
I know. Yeah, always a good thing.
Always a good thing. Somebody's got to replace him, right?
True, true.
So you got these shows; they're all sold out. It's a shame, though. You've never done any of these shows in the U.S., huh?
I never toured with the Ayreon, no, and I will
Yeah,
never tour. So
right,
it's yeah, sorry. It would not be possible, the costs already for this, even in one venue, are like sky high. So
right.
to bring that on the road, it's a crew of over 100 people
I
that
can't even
we work
imagine the
with.
cost of it.
Yeah, and setting up the whole stage, it takes like a week. And if you're like Pink Floyd or Rammstein, you can do those things, because there's 10 million a show coming in. But no, we could never do that touring. So
Yeah, there's this
also the
guy.
availability of the musicians, of course, of the singers. I
He's,
mean, they all have their own bands. So
that's right. That's true. It's tough. It's very difficult.
yeah,
But what about a video? Are you going to put out a video for these shows or anything like
Oh,
that?
of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first show we did in 2015, it was a theater show.
Right.
And then the second show with Ayreon Universe in 2017. And then we had Electric Castle 2019. And we all filmed them for DVD. So they were all released in DVD with 5.1 and the whole making of and
Excellent.
stuff. So we're going to do that this time. Of course, you know, it would be silly to pass that opportunity to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's this guy that said this quote that was very interesting. He said, "The meaning of life is to give life meaning."
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
I was so proud when I thought of that one.
That's very clever. That, you know, that's going to go down in the
It's so
history
simple.
books.
It's so simple, but it's my view of life, you know. Why bother and think about what's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life, you know? You give it meaning, you know. Everyone should. And yeah, it's so simple. But there you go.
Very cool quote. And
Thank
it's,
you.
like you said, so simple, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to mention some of the other tracks from the album from Revel in Time, Star One, that I liked. Revel in Time. The music there sounded it kind of reminded me of Soundgarden and Audio Slave, you know, with Chris Cornell
It's also
with
the
that
singer.
band, you
It's
know.
also the singer, Brandon. I think he likes Soundgarden, you know. He's got that kind of a raspy, powerful voice. I think it's mainly his voice that brings it out, you know. And of
Very
course,
cool.
there's a lot of Zeppelin in there, but
Yeah,
then Soundgarden were inspired by Zeppelin too, you know. So
exactly.
that's what's happening there. I love the whole grunge thing, you
Me
know.
too.
I know all the metal guys hated it, you know, because the whole hair metal thing was out, you know. But
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
time. It was time. And Alice in Chains, I mean, oh my God, you know. Well,
The grunge era was the last commercial rock and roll. You know, that was the
true,
last time rock was
true.
on the radio. You
Oh
know,
yes, yeah.
and there were some good guitar players in those bands
Oh
too.
yes, oh yes.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
like you. I took my son to see about 6 months ago Godsmack.
Oh right, right. Yeah, yeah.
They're still around, but those guys look old now too.
Cool, cool. Yeah, yes, yeah.
The year of 41, Joe Lynn Turner you had for that track. He's a good guy too as well. I had him on the show a long
He's
time ago.
he's become a friend, you know. I've
Yeah,
talked with him on the phone. Well, you talk with him. He's a personality, you know.
he is.
And he's got his opinions that you have to appreciate. And but I like it, you know. I like honest guys like
Me
that. I
too.
like guys going against the grain, and he is, you know. Um,
Especially
I
especially when
like
he talks
honest
about
people.
especially when he talks about Ian Gillan and Richie Blackmore together.
Oh yes, yeah, he's got some wonderful stories there.
Very good
Yeah,
stories there.
it was like I asked him for the song, and in the beginning he wasn't sure, and he like let's call, and I was like let's call Jolene Turner. Oh my God, saw all the shows back in the 70s, you know, with Rainbow
Yeah.
and then the phone went and it's Jolene Turner. It's like, oh, I was so nervous, and I was like, what am I going to tell him? And then half an hour later, we were laughing, and then you know, and yeah, good guy. And I love his last album. You know that song Black Sun is
Yeah.
totally amazing.
I need to get him back on the show. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you should,
Yeah.
and say hi to him from me.
He's a good interview. He really is.
Yeah, yeah.
The titles of your songs are amazing, 28 days till the end of time.
Uh,
The other one I liked, Beyond the Edge of It All, I
yeah,
mean,
I
that's
just like the sound of that. I didn't have a lyric. I didn't have a movie. It's
right.
just on the edge of it all. I mean, you can hear Dio sing it, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
and
It's
it sounded
awesome.
so cool. But I had no idea what. That's the first time I had to find a movie to fit the title.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. So
Hey,
I found some obscure, weird British TV show that no
right.
one knows that could have had that title.
Your music would fit soundtracks that easily. Have you done a soundtrack for movies?
I don't think I could work in commission. If someone tell
Really?
me this is a movie, can you do it? Um, I don't know. Music just
Mm,
comes up
yeah,
naturally, and I don't think I could write it. I would want to. Why not? If I
sure.
wish I could, but no. Some people ask me, and then I just failed miserably. So, but it's not really my passion. I
Right,
mean, my
right.
passion would to be to do a movie, and I tried that, but it's millions. It costs millions. So,
It
and it's
does.
very hard to get that cash together. There's so many instances that
Yep.
you have to, and it's so complicated. So I think I'll give up on that. So
It's tough. I'm trying to push. This was my first book. It's about growing up in the family business. It's called Check the G's.
okay,
That's
cool.
me on the front cover in DC, Washington
Yeah.
DC, and I'm pushing that for a sitcom on TV, a comedy
Oh,
sitcom.
wow. Okay, cool.
But you got to get the right person. I've been talking to a lot of
I
producers and
know,
whatever,
I
and
know.
you know,
And the thing is, 10 people can tell you, no, it's bullshit. And then one
right?
person says, it's great.
Exactly.
It's the same with Ayreon. I
Yeah.
mean, 30 record companies turned me down. They all said, I love the music, but hey, we're not going to sell this. And those were the days of grunge.
That's right.
And then there's one person who says, I like it, I'm going to release
Hmm.
it. And then there appears to be an audience for it. And
Yeah.
hard to predict.
Always remember there was that one record company. It might have been RCA that turned down the Beatles.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They thought they sucked.
Yep. Yep. Little mistake there.
Little mistake there. Exactly. Um, I was thinking this new band that you have, it would be much easier to tour with. But you said you don't care about touring anymore, right?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
We could do some shows here and there, maybe some festivals stuff, but definitely not this year because of the live shows, because I already said it's like a year of work to set that up, so
Right.
it'd be too much. But maybe next year.
Yeah. I'd hate to see you just, watch sci-fi shows all day and take naps.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It sounds like fun. I do it too, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, no,
you got
I only watch in the evening, like in the
okay.
morning and in the evening. The
Yeah.
day is forbidden. That's the studio time. No, otherwise it'd be awful. So I have to set my limits here and there.
What are the biggest problems, health-wise, for people nowadays? And there's no cure. Is tinnitus, and you had it. I've got it,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it's miserable. Have
It's
you have you got
it's
has it gotten any better for you?
no, no, it will never get better.
It's
No,
terrible, isn't it?
it was Rammstein that did it. I was a big jogger, and at some point, my hearing was n not getting better,
Right,
and I had these new earplugs that you push all the way in your ear, Dunlop, all the way in your ear, and I was like,
right.
I hear. So I played Rammstein, and I came back, and whoa, I was like, what is this beep? And yeah, days go by that you don't hear it, but
Right.
then, when you think about it, or at night or whatever, and you think like, this is not possible. How can I even hear people talk above all this noise?
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
It's
And I
bad.
know every time, my fans are so lovely. They're always sending me remedies, and
Right.
you got these contra signals, and you should try this, and
Yep.
and I'm like, yeah, once they find a cure, everyone will know about it, and yeah, kind of given up on that. So
I was
yeah,
in the we had a separate booth for doing news when I was in radio.
yeah,
So while I was doing my top 40 show, I would go in this booth and cut the news. I would,
yeah.
tape it on a cart and then put it in and play during my show. Somebody left the volume pad, the pod, all the way
Oh
full
no.
blast, and I got close to the microphone with my headphones.
Oh shit.
It knocked me out for 3 minutes.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
And
probably
that's
where I got
enough.
the tinnitus.
Oh man. Oh, that's terrible.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was probably being a wise guy too, doing it on purpose.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Very bad. Um, I just want to mention, I think your inspiration behind learning the guitar, that was Richie Blackmore, right? And Made in Japan. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I think Richie, he's probably one of my top three guitar players because
I think
he,
so
he
too.
can
Yeah.
do it all. It's not only electric, but he does acoustic. He plays the mandolin. He does
His
everything.
acoustic is brilliant, you know.
He's
But I like him as a composer too. I know he looks up to the classic composers like Beethoven and
right.
Bach and shit. But he's up there with them, you know, and he doesn't realize it. But you know, to be able to compose a song like Stargazer, I mean, it sounds so simple, you know, you know,
Right.
but da 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 is simple too, you know. It's yeah, he totally got it. I mean, he totally. I loved everything he did, you know,
Hmm.
the Purple Rainbow, but also his folky stuff later on, and yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, I told Candace, his wife, to tell him I think he's in the top three. He's in my top three.
Cool.
And every
Yeah.
time I do an interview with Candace, he's hiding somewhere. I said,
Oh
where
yeah,
is he?
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
downstairs in the bar,
Well,
the
the funny
basement.
thing is, you know, he's always the bad guy, and I like
Yeah,
bad guys. Also, movies, I always like the bad guy, you
me
know,
too.
and it was always Blackmore, you know, did he have a good day or not when you went to see him, or would you see his back all day? And I
Exactly.
just loved it, you know, he was the Black Menace, and so Candace was going to be on my album, and
Oh, she would have
I
been perfect.
we went to Germany, and I met them both, and we had a drink together,
Hmm.
and it was such a disappointment because he was nice. He was so nice to me, and I was like, "Hey, you're the Black Shadow, you know, you shouldn't." You insult me or anything, but he was so nice, and but I'm just joking, of course. But he's a good
Candace
guy.
says the guys he likes to hang around with are not musicians. They're like the plumber, the electrician,
Of course, yeah,
regular
yeah,
guys like that.
yeah, cool.
And he loves to vacuum. He likes to
Okay,
push the vacuum cleaner.
okay. Well, there you go.
Here's your final question. I ask everybody this question. I get some very interesting answers. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform with or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Dead or alive?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, my triumvirate, my holy trinity is Beatles, Floyd, and Zeppelin.
Okay.
And my main people in there are John Lennon, Robert Plant, and
Hmm.
Gilmore. So
Nice
to be
trio.
yeah, yeah, definitely to be able to do something with one of these guys, uh, that would be a dream come true, you know. But I came close. I mean, I work with Steve Vai, who's in my top three
Hmm.
guitar players, you know.
Yeah.
I work with Bruce Dickinson, who's in my top 10 singers, and but you know, I never got anyone from those three bands. I mean, I got the Purple people if you
Right.
count Jolene Turner
Sure.
um but yeah, no one from Floyd. Yeah, that would no one from Zeppelin, of course.
Hmm.
Plant is such a hero for me too, you
Right.
know, and he's still cool, you know. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of the singers they're in their 70s now, they lost their
Yeah.
voice, but with Plant, it doesn't matter, you know. He just changed his tune, and
Right.
he's still cool. If you see him, and yeah, my
Yeah.
heroes.
Those are your heroes.
Yeah.
Is there any chance you'll have another album out with more guest artists? You think? I mean, of the
Oh, for
Jolene
sure, for sure.
caliber
Yeah.
like that?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll get back to Ayreon at some point,
Right.
but it's not easy, you know. It's not easy getting these guys. I mean, getting a guy like Bruce Dickinson or Steve Vai, it takes half a year, you know, being
Yeah.
patient, and I'm not a patient man, you
I
know.
can help you actually. I know, I
Cool.
got a lot of connections and
Well, I will
yeah.
call on you for
I
sure.
I just I just lined up John McLaughlin, from
Oh,
Mahavishnu,
whoa, whoa,
and
whoa.
he's on an album. I think he's going to be on John Anderson's next album, and I know the producer,
Cool.
and I
Yeah.
got I got John McLaughlin for those guys. So
Whoa, whoa.
yeah, give me your laundry list.
Oh yes.
Put it together, and I'll work on it for you.
Oh, definitely. I
Yeah,
will.
definitely. I know a lot of these guys, and
Yeah.
a lot of these guys are looking for collaborations. They really
Okay.
are.
Well, yeah. No, definitely. I'll give you my list. It's a long list. It's 200 singers actually. I have a list.
That's okay.
It's there's a lot
I'm
of people on there.
serious. I guess
Yeah.
give it to Steven. Email it to Steven. Steven Karras, right? Is that who you
Yeah.
work with? Is that
Yeah.
Am I saying his last name right? Is it Karras or Karras?
I can't tell you. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know.
He's with SKH Music
Yeah.
and Jill also. I work with Jill. They're the ones
Okay.
who
Cool.
helped me to get this interview with you.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I can definitely help you out. I'm serious for your next album.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. And again, I want to say special thanks to Steven.
Alice Cooper. Can you
SKH.
get me Alice Cooper?
I've been trying to get I can get you guys in his band, you know.
No, I want Alice.
Alice has been tough. I don't
I
know, you
For
know.
me too. I've been trying for 20 years,
Okay.
and I got close a couple of times. He had a personal assistant,
Right.
and he was very helpful. He tried to, get me Alice, but it never worked out. And last time I approached him, I had the perfect song for him, and he liked it, but he said, I only do cooperations with friends now.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm not Johnny Depp, so I
Yeah.
can forget about it.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, that's. I think he would be on top of my list right now.
Okay.
Alice, yeah, yeah.
Well, you want me to give you my email address?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. You want to write it down, or you want me to send it to Steven? I'll send it to Steven, and he'll send it to you. How's that?
Cool.
Okay. And purchase Supersonic Revolution, Arjen's new band, Golden Age of Music. And that's available May 19th, but you can pre-order it now. You can go to your website,
For sure.
Supersonic Revolution. Will Supersonic Revolution be around after this album, or is this a one album thing?
Oh no, I will definitely make another one. I mean,
Okay.
I haven't had so much fun in years, so yeah, for sure.
And it's a cool name too.
I love the name. It's so over the top,
It's
a
awesome.
more is more name.
You can visit Arjen Lucassen for more information at www.arjenlucassen.com, the official website. You got that live show website too, right? www.arjenlucassen.com/live. You're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You're everywhere. And I've also got a list of your discography for everybody to see all the albums you put out.
That's a big list.
It's a long list, man.
Yep.
Thank you, man, for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
It was fun, Ray. Really.
It was a lot of
enjoyed it.
fun. Yeah,
Cool.
and I'm serious about that list. I've helped a lot of people. I've connected Susie Quattro with the Runaways. That was, I've connected a lot of people.
Yeah,
It takes a
cool.
middleman to do this.
For sure, yeah, I know all about it.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you anything. So
I loved Susie Quattro. Susie Quattro was great, man.
Yeah.
48 Crash,
yeah, she was cool.
I loved it. Yeah.
I talked to her
bass.
from time to time. She looks good
cool.
too. She looks great.
Yeah, she's still great.
Yeah. She's a little bit older than us.
Oh, whoa. Oh, well, she's doing good.
She's doing good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arjen. Take care,
Okay,
man.
man.
I really appreciate it. And
Cool,
good luck.
Ray. Okay, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.